Hello again, once more. Beautiful day, Mohamed Ali from Freetown, Sierra Leone. Like I was saying, today we will take you to South Africa. We are going to talk about culture in South Africa. As we're going to host today, one of our ambassadors who is a cultural activist in South Africa. We started the meeting, but it's rather unfortunate to break through the network. So we're going to get her again here. Please stay tuned and listen to our conversation, right? Because today we are going to talk about specifically about culture. What are the impacts of culture in our society, not only in South Africa, but Africa as a whole. Not only Africa as a whole, but the African descendant. The reasons, some of the important, some of the significant, that we must embrace our own culture here in Africa and everywhere we go. That's going to make us a very unique, right, among any other races, right? Because Africans hold a specific aspect of culture that very different from any other tribes or any other race in the world, right? But today, South Africa has been one of the most modeling of the African cultural activities in the world, right? They are very proud of their cultures and they already got the attention of different people in the world, different individuals, different people around the globe, right? So today we're going to take it to South Africa. South Africa have many tribes like the Ngosa, the Zulu, so many other people, right? We are going to, like I was saying, our own very and part of the conversation. She's joining us now from South Africa, right? She's in Mboli. Mboli, welcome again. I know the network must have been disturbed.
Oh, all right. This is a challenge, really. This is a challenge. Otherwise, I'm back. I'm back again. We
Okay.
were talking. We were talking
Yeah,
about our culture.
we have to start it all over again. Tell us your name, where you resided.
Oh, all right. My name is Nombulelo Mbaleni. I'm from South Africa, in the city called Mthatha, in the back then Transkei. Mthatha used to be the capital city of Transkei.
Okay.
On the olden days.
Okay.
Yes, that's me.
Okay, thank you very much. Like I was saying, today we are going to talk specifically on culture. We have never talked about culture, topic culture, but we have mentioned different times in our interviews. But today we are going to specifically on culture and African culture. We're going to measure the African diaspora, but later on, stay tuned on this particular conversation and get to listen and learn more about South African culture. And the first question here is, Buli, is South Africa is a very unique and significant country in terms of culture and tradition, as culture plays a significant role in the unique way of life. Tell us more about this way unique about culture in South Africa. Thank you.
Thanks, Ali. South Africa is a very unique country in terms of culture. In South Africa, we're having different groups of people who are performing different cultures in their own ways. As different as it is, our country, the only strong bone that we are having in our country is the spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu was taught to us by our great grandfathers. That is what is connecting us to each other. Other than that, we differ. We differ in terms of our culture, in the ways that we are performing our actual activities, that is our rituals. Look at the way we are performing our ceremony. For instance, we are having the weddings. Let's talk about the wedding ceremonies that are different in each and every tribe of our country. We've got the traditional ceremonies, wedding ceremonies, and we also have the white wedding ceremonies. The cultural people, in their own way, will be performing their traditional wedding in their own way that is unique to them. Then there will be the white weddings that are performed by the white people in our country. Look at the way we are celebrating the boys going to manhood. It differs also according to each and every tribe. So everything that you are doing, we're doing it differently. It depends on that clan of that particular tribe. We could be the Xhosa speaking. The whole party will be Xhosa speaking, but we will be performing our activities differently from each other according to our clans. That is how different we are in terms of the culture.
Wow. Wow, very nice, very nice. Thank you very much, Mbuli. Thank you very much. Spirit of Ubuntu. I was listening so many interviews like Joshua Maponga, Malema, saying Ubuntu, Ubuntu, Ubuntu. I was seeing, like, I saw this some posts on pages on Ubuntu, but this is my first time like getting it touched very. You know, you have explained it for me to understand very clearly.
Yes,
Thank you very much for that wonderful question. And also, we can take a next question because there is so much disturbance in the network and stuff like that. Also, we take the second question, say that music also signifies important aspect of our culture, not only in South Africa, but Africa as a whole. Okay, during time of freedom, like Sarafina, when time of marriage and other activities, tell us how music has impacted and still impacting in the life of South Africans and Africa as a whole, because we are seeing now this Afro music, like, you know, creating impact in the world. Like African music is in the world right now. How is that relating to South Africa, like in terms of freedom like Sarafina and wedding? Like the last time I said the music where it indicates a marriage. Like, tell us more about music in South African culture. Thank you.
What I can say is that as South Africans, we are having the rhythm that we get from the music.
Yeah.
Our music is the way of communication. We communicate our messages through music. We express our feelings through music. When we are happy, we are rejoicing. We show that by the songs. We sing, we dance, and you'll find out that music is going along with dance. There are types of songs that are sung in different levels or in different ages by different people. For instance, young boys are having their own songs that are relevant to them. Young women are having their own songs, and they're having their own type of dance, which is different from old women. So everything is different according to the age. Ne? Then, as I was saying, music is the way of communication. We communicate through music. When we are sad, we express our sadness through music. In the olden days, during those times of war, there would be songs that will be sung when going to war. There will be then songs of victory. People would be expressing how the situation is through music. In the times of political struggle, we communicate through the music. There are songs that are different from any other song that will be sung during the struggle. So music is the way of communication. It is our way. It is how we express ourselves. When we are going to worship, as you understand, most that we've got different types of how we worship as people. So when we're worshiping, we'll go up the hill or in a higher place, the place that we feel that it is close to our Creator. Then we will go there. When going there, we'll be singing our songs. That is the songs of worship. They are different from any other song. We don't just sing those songs anywhere or anyhow. So that is how powerful music is to us. We pass our messages through music.
Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. One question again. Is this some parts of African music playing in South Africa, like normally in the places like in the street, like you hear people play another music of Africa rather than South Africa?
In South Africa, as I was saying, that we've got different tribes in different regions. Ne?
Yeah.
Each and every region is having its own customs or own ways of doing things. Each region is having maybe its own way of communication, that is its own language. You understand? For instance, we are the Xhosas, ne? We've got our way of, we've got our songs that will be singing in the street, like in the music, the radio music from the radios, ne? Then it will depend which, because when we go down to Sikisiki area, other areas, ne? They will be having their own language with their kind of music that will be different from others. So that is how music is, and we are enjoying it. If I'm enjoying that particular song, that particular type of music, it will be having another meaning to other person. Maybe he or she will not be understanding it the way I'm understanding it on this other side. And we've got different types of music. We've got music that we've got songs that are being sung during the initiation. You know, when the boys are in the initiation school, there's the music for that. We've got music for girls, young girls graduating to womanhood. So there are songs for that. So each and every category of people have got its own type of music.
Wow. I think it's my first time hearing this. Like, I think this is very unique. South Africa is very unique, like rather than other African countries. Because for here in Sierra Leone, like we adopt this band set music, like the music in the studio. We play the music in the studio like more than any other music here in Sierra Leone. I think Nigeria is also, but I think Nigeria, South Africa is somehow very unique rather than what you be explaining here. It's my first time hearing this because I've hosted so many people, but what you're saying here about culture and music in South Africa, it's my first time hearing this. I think this is also going to be very important for the people listening, right? Because I know we have only 6 views, but after people will be like sharing it, people will be listening to it later after the conversation. Now, thank you very much. I'm going to ask you, the third question here is, you said you are from Gosa. Just tell us what are some of the activities that makes the Gosa different from another tribe like the Zulus and other tribes in South Africa?
Or as I've said before, as people in South Africa, we differ according to our tribes. The activities that we will be performed on our side will differ from activities that are performed on the other side by the very same South Africans. So we really differ in the ways of doing things. Maybe I could say, for instance, I just need an example that I could relate now on. But what I'm trying to say is that we as South Africans have different ways of doing things. The Xhosas will do things differently from the Zulus or from the Basutus. Our rituals, we may be having the same rituals with the same meaning, but it will be performed differently. As I've made an example of circumcision or of initiation, that the boy needs to be circumcised, but the activities or the rituals that are being performed will differ in each and every tribe. So that is how our culture differs. It is our culture. It is our way of doing things. It is our rituals that were taught us from generation to generation.
Okay, I get you. I get it. Thank you very much. This is the most popular tribes in South Africa. For me, the ones I know, the Xhosa and the Zulu. This is the only tribe that I have heard about South Africa. And can you mention some tribe that is very somehow majority in South Africa, like for the listeners to know?
We've got the Basutu, the Soto people. They are also in their area. They've got their own area where they reside. Lesotho. Those are the people that we are also having here in South Africa. We've got different tribes. We've got the Zulus, we've got the Xhosas, we've got Basutus, the Tswanas, the Vendas, you know. Yeah, so it's different types of people and performing their activities in different ways.
Okay, I get you. Thank you very much. I know the listeners must have liked this so much to listen to this particular conversation. Maybe after 2-3, because next week I'll be in Brooklyn, America. Yes, New York. I'll interview some people out there. But maybe we'll propose another time for different activities, right? Thank you very much,
Okay.
Mbuli. Today we are going to talk about a very important aspect of South Africa, because you know South Africa is a country now where is the white and the black, right? Now the white is a minority. We want to ask, in terms of culture in South Africa, do this white majority, right, have their own cultures, or they practice some cultural activities with some tribe in South Africa, or do they have their cultural practices in South Africa?
Yes, Ali. The whites, each and every tribe, each and every nation have got its own ways of doing it. Have got its own customs. The blacks have got their own ways. The whites also have their own ways. And it won't be easy for them to practice or to mimic, if I could say, to mimic what is done on the other side. Because they will not be understanding, they will not be having that same understanding as the owners of that particular culture or custom. You understand? Right. Culture goes with spirituality. These things go together. For you to perform your cultural activities, you should be spiritually connected to that. Because spiritually, your culture is in your veins. It is what is embedded in you. It is what you've carried through your DNA, if I may say, through your DNA. Then there's nothing that you can do to wash away your culture. So it won't be very easy for other people to do the cultures that do not belong to them. So when we are doing our things, we are doing them because we know the benefits, we know the results, we know what we are doing. So even if they see that this culture is quite is somehow interesting, maybe they can follow it. They will not be able to follow it because it won't be having the meaning that it has to its own people. You understand?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you very much. I understand. But sometimes when you perform your culture during the initiation or marriage, when they are joining your occasion, do they wear this garment you wear? Because I used to see your pictures on the Facebook, like you wear different attire, right? Do they wear these attires, or you just come in tie, or like how it look like because I know when people living together, like in a community or country, you must interact, right? You must have celebration together sometimes. So during these celebrations, because like you were saying, so celebrations have different aspects of itself. When you appear, you say that this is a marriage or this is an initiation. When they come, do they wear this tradition of the people who get this particular occasion, or they come normal?
They will come to join the ceremony, but during the ceremony that they've joined, there are those moments of the particular owners of the ceremony will be going to perform certain rituals that are specific or that they are talking to them. You understand? Then the rest of the people will be, they may not have the chance to exactly watch what is being done, but what they will be doing is just to join the ceremony, because there will be times that this young boy or this young man, the new man will be taken away from the group of people to a secret place, to another house or hut, you see, for the ritual to be performed there. Then he will come back. So they may enjoy the ceremony, but they may not know what exactly was happening there, unless it's the people who know what is being done, and unless it is the people of the same tribe that will know. Otherwise, other than that, the other people won't be knowing what is actually happening on that secret place, you know.
Wow. Wow. I get you. Anyway, I can't wait to visit South Africa, right? I can't wait to reach South Africa and, you know, have everything about this country, because, you know, African culture touches me sometimes, in a way that, like, I feel whenever, like, I don't feel like when I go to South Africa, I'm a foreigner. Like, I feel like I'm in South Africa because everything we do, it is in me. I understand it. So, like, it's a very unique, like, I don't know how much I love Africa, right? When you explain this, it gets me touched, right? Because, you know, this is our 1,000 years back way of life. Like, we are still practicing it. I'm very happy. Like, we are still doing it, and we must do it. Like, you know, this next question that we're going to talk about it, right? So let's go to the next question that explains what I want to say here is, do South Africa culture taught in schools, right? Or do they, I mean, is this culture taught in schools? Because for here in Sierra Leone, there is no culture in schools. We don't teach them. So this cultural practices I mentioned of different tribes in South Africa, is this taught in school, or do they, the kids just like, as they grown up, they are just interacting with their parents, you know, attending different occasions. So this is how they know it and how they practice this, how they know they belong to this particular cultural activities or cultural sects in South Africa. Do they taught in school or during the initiation, during this practice until they got grown, they know the culture?
Unfortunately, our culture is not taught in schools. In schools, it is only the education system that is being taught there. Nothing about culture. Culture is only transferred from generation to generation by word of mouth and practical. It is the elders of the particular household who will teach the children on the activities that are being done, on the way that those activities are done in that particular household. Other than that, the neighbor who is not my clan name will not know how I am performing my rituals in my household. That is the difference, and that is how difficult will it be for culture to be taught in schools. Because if we can teach culture in schools, which culture? Culture for which clan? Rituals for which clan? You understand? So it is very difficult. What is important here is for our elders in each and every household to teach their children, so that the children can carry that to their own generation, even generations to come, to understand how these are performed, how this is done in their own clan. You understand? So culture, it won't be easy for it to be taught in schools.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. Very, very important. You touched very important area of this particular thing that I want to know about, because, you know, now we are having the African diaspora. Many people want to move on. They have all traced their DNA to South Africa or some part of Africa, even here in Sierra Leone, right? But these people out there, when they come, they want to be part of these particular cultures. So they'll find it difficult. They will find it easy if these cultures are in books or written, so they can able to read it and later practice the theory and practical, right? But this, how do you think people that from different tribe or people from different, like the diaspora, like I was saying, the Americans and the other people, like they want to become a cultural partner in South Africa? How do you think it is easy for them to be part of this particular culture? How can they learn?
You know what? The way culture is different, or the way the activities, the ceremonies, the rituals are being performed by different people, by different clans, it won't be easy for someone else to perform that ritual. Do you know that when the ritual that you have been asked to perform, when it goes wrong or it doesn't go the way it's supposed to go by, you will have to repeat it. You will have to do it again. So that means you cannot copy and paste what is done in the neighborhood and think that it will be correct or it will be exactly the way it's supposed to be done here. Some of the rituals that we are performing, we are performing them in the way that we have been told when we are sleeping. We dream. Our ancestors will come in the way of dream. Will dream and they will tell you exactly how to do it. So someone else may not copy what I've been told to do. You understand? So that is how difficult it is. That is why it cannot be taught in schools. Because each and every ritual or activity that we are doing, it differs from, you can do it this way, but I will be ordered to do it the other way. And I haven't performed it the correct way. I will have to repeat it to start afresh and do it. You understand?
I get you. Wow. This is my it is my first time hearing it. It's like, when this is real.
Yeah.
This is very real. Culture is very real in Africa. This is what we left for another religion, another practice. That's how very negative effect on us Africans, because hence we left what our ancestors, like for here in West Africa, all what you are mentioning, it is nothing like this. And in fact, when the government come to power in 2018, they banned all cultural activities, like people carry this big wig and dance in the street, like performing ceremony. Everything was banned. Like we have already we feel comfortable like with the Western ideology, like the system of education that makes us to think we live in a way that we don't embrace anything about culture. Like you don't see normally here in Sierra Leone somebody wearing this what I wear, this garment. It's very rare to see this. Everybody wearing like this hip hop in America, like this, everything like ties. Like what you're saying is somehow very different of my understanding. I never heard about this. Like when you dream, when you perform something very wrong, you have to do it again, because if you don't do it the right way, you cannot get connected to your ancestors. They're very like, I can't wait to see this. I can't wait to reach out there in South Africa. Trust this. Very loving, very loving.
Culture, my brother, goes with spirituality. You cannot separate those. You can never separate. It is the spiritual connection that makes you to perfectly perform your activity or the ceremony that you are performing. Otherwise, other than that, if you are not connected spiritually with your creator or with your ancestors, then it will be like nothing you have done. You haven't done anything. It's good. It will be good as you have just given people lunch. You see?
Wow.
When you're giving people lunch, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't have an impact. It doesn't have the spiritual impact. It won't be having the end product that I've performed. If it was the ritual that you have to perform because you are sick, and after you've performed that ritual, you will be healed, then if you are not spiritually connected, you won't heal, because you're not spiritually connected. It is saying nothing to you. So that is why culture cannot be taught in schools. It cannot be taught in schools.
Okay. Let me ask. Something just came to my mind. Like, I'm from West Africa, Sierra Leone. I don't know nothing about South African culture. What if I go to South Africa and then I want to marry somebody from Lingosa, very traditional? Then I have to marry her. So what do you think? What are some of the criteria? Do they accept for me to marry her, or like I don't know nothing about the culture, because as you said, culture connects our ancestors. Then I'm very new on anything, everything. I'm new. So how you feel like you need to be accepted in that particular family and marry the particular individual and stay there? You know, we live together and you know stuff like that. How is it possible?
You will be accepted as long as you are connected by love. Ne?
Yeah.
The other family in South Africa will accept you. And the woman that you are marrying will have to abide by the rules of your culture.
Okay.
In your country, she will not do or she will not perform the things or the activities that she would be performing at home.
Okay.
The mere fact that she is married to you, she will have to abide by the laws and the things, the activities. If they are saying in this household we use a baboon she will have to use that baboon as well. You understand?
Yeah.
So it's not some we do in marriages, interracial marriages. It's not a problem with that.
Okay. So
the only thing that a woman must do is to obey what is being done on the other side, on the other family that she's in.
Okay. So you want to say that like if from the Zulu man you want to marry another cultural wife from a different ethnicity or different country. So if the wife have to come in South Africa, she must do all what the man said, because the man owns the culture, right? Okay.
She will have to.
She will
have to
abide
yes,
and adopt to the special Gosa, I mean, culture, tradition, belief, everything.
Yes, she will have to change, because now she is a changed person.
Okay.
She's joined the other family who's different from her own ways of doing things, you know. So also remember that a man is always the king of the home, is always the leader.
I got you.
Yes. So as a woman, I have to abide. I won't be performing my own things from my family in this household. I will only perform my things when I go back, because there will be those times when I'll be called home to come. We've got this ceremony. So then when I'm at home, I'll perform it the way it is performed at home. And I won't be doing the things from my other family here in this home of mine. No.
Wow. Okay, thank you very much. Give me one Gosa woman, I'm coming.
Okay.
Give me a wife in South Africa. I'll be coming for her, right?
I will.
Thank you very much. The next question here tells us like it's very close to what we're discussing about. I heard that culture makes South Africa to do away with religion, because what you're saying here is connect the ancestors facts, like you know this all something similar to religion, right? I heard that culture makes South Africa to do away with religion, makes Zulus, and besides, who else makes this particular decision? Like, you know, saying that religion has nothing to do with me, as long as I'm in line with my ancestors, so I don't have anything to do with religion. Like the Zulu king, because I had read a story, like the Zulu king says that when the white man came, to, they want to overthrow, like, you have total control of the land in South Africa. They asked him, you have to be religious and you have to accept us. If you don't accept religion, you will be burned in fire. He said that I made out of fire. I eat fire. I drink fire. I don't care about anything. So this makes I have read many articles that South Africans some of them don't believe in religion. They believe in traditional culture. So what do you think of what can you say about this particular question? Religion, be religion, and not religion.
Religion and culture. These are two different things. In religion, it is what you believe in, and culture is something that you were born with. We were born with culture. Religion is something that is taught to us.
Yeah,
it is.
that's true.
It's something that is imposed to us, which we never knew about. So, what I could say is that if someone chooses to believe in a certain religion, it will be better to stick to that religion and not mix culture with religion. Because if you mix these two things, you'll be confused. Yourself, you will be confused. And you will also confuse your children. And you'll also confuse each and everybody out there. So what is important is that if you know that you're practicing your cultural customs, practice those and solemnly do so. And if you are on the side of the religion, practice your religion, because it is something that you believe that it will make you feel better, or it will do things for you. You understand? So these are two different things, and that South African people who are culturalists like myself don't have to do anything with the religion, because it is something that is taught, it is something that is imposed to me. In fact, it is something that people were forced to do. It is not in their, because I've said earlier, culture goes with spirituality. You have to be connected. So religion is not connecting me with my spiritual being. That is how I see it. So that is why I'm saying, if you are performing or doing things the cultural way, do those and solemnly culturally. And if you are doing it religiously, do those religiously. Do not mix, because it will make a confusion.
Okay, I get you. Thank you very much, Bully. We're going to go to the second question, right? Please put down your camera a little bit so the public can see you. Can see, because you are somehow down. Yeah, sure. Yeah, people can able to see you.
Right.
And the next question is there an increase or decline, right, in the cultural practices in South Africa through the younger generation? Like, for example, for here in Sierra Leone, where I went to school in Kono, right, we have their cultural and traditional practice where they pierce the back of young kids, right, for them to be identified at this particular specific tribe, which gives them the opportunity for them to be a leader or a chief over the land, right? But as of recently, many of these kids, when they realize that, this tradition, most of them don't like it anymore. They don't want to be part of this particular tradition. So it creates a decline in this particular tradition. So many of them, don't want to do it. So as where it was done before, it's not done so now. The number of people they get, to them to be part of this particular initiation, they cannot be able to get them anymore among young generations. So this cultural practice in South Africa, is this increasingly as every year, or it is declining?
I could say that it is increasing.
Wow.
Our young generation, our youth, are starting to know, or are starting to see that, no, man, what I've been raised on, that is the religion. What I've been raised on, it is not me. It is not the way I'm supposed to be living my life. Then they are starting to change. They are starting to realize that for this being to perform things or to succeed in life, they have to go this route. That is the cultural route. That is why we are seeing the emerging young people increasingly going back to their roots. For instance, we have noted that in schools, the children in schools are having a calling that is a Sangoma calling. They are starting to become traditional healers. And you will ask yourself, why is this? How come that in this household we never had, maybe it was our great grandfather who was a traditional healer or a herbalist then after that there was no one who was practicing those things who even know how to or who have a knowledge of a certain herb. No one now in this generation, but it will emerge on a young school kid of this particular household. And you will begin to wonder, how is this happening? Then you will realize that, no, man, maybe our ancestors have noted that we, as this generation, we have done away with their ways of living. We are no longer caring for them. We are taking as if they never existed, when they were having the special gift of healing people themselves. Then they will give this particular child of yours this gift. And this is what we are seeing, that the children that are having the calling are increasing in numbers. And other than that, being the Sangomas or spiritually gifted, the youth is starting to realize themselves. They are starting to realize their humanity. They are starting to know and have the understanding that, no, man, I'm a black person. I've got this way of doing things in this particular way. The way that was being done by our great grandfathers. So there is there is the change. It is not that it is the old people who are still focusing and holding on their culture. No, this very new generation, our youngsters, are starting to understand and are starting to insist in going back to their roots. They are performing. If you care to know, young people who are getting married are now doing away with white weddings, because they've realized that this is not our thing. We've got our way of celebrating, of uniting these two families, which is the traditional way, which is the Buntu traditional way or the Bantu traditional way. So what I'm trying to say is that our youth is becoming clear, or is becoming to know, is starting to know and is starting to understand their cultural values, and they are starting to practice them.
Muli, you are inspiring me, like you are inspiring me. I feel that, like, you know, every, like, the movies in South Africa and what are different pictures I'm seeing now in South Africa, some are very different. All what you're saying is some are very true. Now the young, like, these are the youth. We are the youth that have to substitute. So we are the ones to be more motivated in this particular journey. Right? I'm very happy with South Africa. It is very positivity for the country, for its people, and for Africa as a whole. Right? So because to take the next questions, right? Because the network is somehow good, so we can able to go with it once and for all, so we can later discuss on so many aspects. Yeah, sure. So the next question: why do you think, right? Culture is important that every African should embrace. Every African, not only Africans in Africa, in the diaspora, and every somehow black individual should embrace culture. Why do you think culture should be embraced?
You know what? As Africans, we have to be proud of ourselves.
That's sure.
We have to be proud of the way we are. We are created in a particular way that is unique from the rest. Just look at your hair now.
Yeah.
Your hair is going up.
Yeah.
You know why?
No.
You know why? Your hair is not falling down or is not being pushed backwards. It is because it is how I want to express it this way, that our hair is different from others because it is going upright.
Yeah.
It is attracted. Yeah, that's the word. It is attracted by the rays of the sun.
Yes.
It is attracted by the light. So that is why we are having our upright hair. That is why I'm saying we are created in a unique way. We have to be proud of it. We've got our own languages, which we should be proud of. That is why we are sometimes we have a wish that in schools, how come that we are being educated using the foreign language, the language that is not our mother language? How we wish, or how I wish that this could change one day. Our children be taught in their own native languages. We are the nation, the African nation that is unique in all spheres. The DNA that we are having in our blood, it is the DNA of our forefathers. And even if we can try, you can try to wash your skin and think that you are being inferior from other people, then you want it to be white whilst you are dark-skinned. What remains is your DNA, and you will never wash it away. It will remain, you will remain as yourself with the DNA of your ancestors, and that you should be proud of. It is very good for us as African people to be proud of our roots. African way, so that we can be able to teach even children how to perform these things. Because one day they'll be left not knowing what to do. Let us do away with this mindset of thinking is the soup that is above us, that we should be trying to change our ways and think that it is good for us. Our ancestors will be angry at us at the end. And you will wonder why maybe you succeed in life. And that will be because your success is being suppressed by you. You are suppressing your success because you are not doing what you are supposed to be doing. Your ancestors, in them, you are like a stranger. They don't know you. then how can they show you the way when you are someone else? When you are having another image that they do not know of. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I
What
get
I'm
you. I
saying
get
is
you.
that we as Africans, we must be proud of ourselves. We must embark on doing what is good for us, what is our pride, what is our joy, what is supposed to be done by us. Otherwise, I'm just calling to all African people to do their ways, their things, the way they are supposed to be done by them. And it is only them who will do those things, not anyone else, but them.
Wow.
Let's go back,
Good.
Africans.
This is great. This is great. I want to ask, like all this understanding you have about culture in South Africa, not only Africa, South African culture, but African cultural and heritage, right? Is there any like occasions or there are any like gatherings where you talk about this, or have you moved from your state or your district or your town to another town, to have these cultural activity or festivals?
You're asking if there are
Is
certain
is
activities.
there any festival like you have already witnessed in different like you are in Gosa of different state or different town have already invited you for you to go and to have some sharing ideas. Is there any sharing interactions within this you and your and other people, because this your ideas is very somehow like need to be exhausted in other people for them to know more, like is there any platform for that in South Africa, like shows or any like meetings, stuff like that?
Yes, we do invite each other in the
Okay.
ceremonies that we are performing.
Okay.
We invite our friends, and it becomes interesting to know that this particular ceremony that we're performing on our side this way is being performed on the other side in a different way. So there are different ways of performing ceremonies. It could be one ceremony, the same ceremony, performed in a different way. So we do attend ceremonies for our neighbors, our neighboring regions, if I could say.
Okay. Have you ever moved from South Africa to Lesotho? Because I understand that Lesotho is just like South Africans, something like almost the South Africans. Have you ever traveled outside South Africa for a cultural practice? Because you said you're an activist. Then
No. I haven't been in Lesotho. I haven't been in another country in South Africa. No.
Okay. So,
but we do have the sort of people who are living with us so we get to know and understand their activities or their ceremonies that they are practicing.
Okay. I don't understand. Thank you very much. We already exhausted a lot. Like I don't want this interview to come because it's somehow taking me like I have already thought like I know more. Until I get in touch with you. Like I knew nothing about African culture because like it's just something I see in a movie. But you already like practice and helping other people to to do it, and you are very somehow in line with everything you say. And this many people can learn from this because after this, people will watching it, people will be sharing it. You can able to share it on your platforms. Then I will also download the original video to your gallery and send it to you on WhatsApp. Yeah, so you can able to forward to display. But after the interview, you can able to share it in your platform, so people can able to to know and see the inspirational speech you gave today. So the last question here is: what's your message to the Africans and Africans in the diaspora? Because nowadays everybody is realizing that as long as you are a black, you belong to Africa. You are an African descendant, and you are a foreigner for wherever you are. No matter like you saying you are Caribbean, you are Jamaican, you belong to the motherland, which is Africa. Africa for Africans,
Mhm.
right? Because even though we already see the Africans in America, first they African Americans,
Mhm.
right? They said African Americans. So the Africa first. So before you are called American, you are called African before you called American. So everybody is realizing
Yes.
now, like Africa is the home of all blacks. Destiny of all black people is bound up with Africa, right? So what's your message for Africans dark skin, wherever you are? What's your message for the Africans in Africa, Africans in diaspora, like all black that must keep and practice their cultural activities and traditional heritage? They must embrace their heritage, right? So what's the message to all these people?
My message to fellow Africans is that as Africans, we are diverse. As diverse as we have to embrace that we are diverse, but we are still Africans. What is important to us is to do our things the way they are supposed to be done. We must not move around doing other people's businesses whilst we have our own things, our rich, because our culture is a rich culture as Africans. So to all Africans out there, please, beautiful Africans, perform your rituals the way they're supposed to be performed, because it is what you are, because you are your own culture. By nature, you were created to be an African. If you were not supposed to be an African, you won't be an African. So the mere fact that you are an African, practice then Africanism in you, because the healing is in you. Your spiritual being will be healed by you. Connect with your nature. Because we are doing our things by connecting. We're having the connection, the spiritual connection with nature. Nothing else with nature. Everything that you are doing, we are doing it because we are connected in nature. Africans, before civilization, you may think that this is just a small thing. We were walking barefoot, and that is Africanism. The mere fact that your skin touches the ground, it is causing vibrations on the ground, and that is what is nature, and that is what is talking to you as an African. We are people who are following nature. You would hear that people are talking about the stars, about their astronomers. They say they are astronomers, but we were the very first people to understand nature.
Yeah, sure, you're right.
We the very first people
But
to understand that this is the sun, this is directing the energies down to us, the energies that are healing us. Everything in nature is healing us. So let's go back to our roots, beautiful Africans, and do our own things, the things that are unique to us, the things that no one else could